There's something magical about Milan in 2025. The cobblestone streets echo with timeless elegance, yet every corner reveals a fresh whisper of style. For women over 60, Milanese fashion sends an empowering message. Age is not a limit, it's an advantage. You've lived, you've learned, and now you get to express that wisdom through clothing that reflects both grace and individuality.
Imagine walking into a boutique where the fabrics practically invite you to touch them. Cashmere that feels like a soft embrace, silk that flows like water, wool that holds its shape yet whispers sophistication. These are not just clothes, they are experiences woven into every thread. They're quiet reminders that refinement is about presence, not excess. In this video, we'll explore the most inspiring Milan fashion trends of 2025. Designed with you in mind. From quiet luxury pieces that celebrate understatement, to boho elegance that brings out your free spirit, to subtle yet powerful accessories like statement gloves and skinny silk scarves, you'll discover how to create looks that are not only fashionable, but deeply personal. Each trend carries with it a story, a way of living, and an invitation to embrace beauty on your own terms. The promise is simple. By the end of this journey, you'll walk away with fresh ideas to refresh your wardrobe, practical ways to style these pieces in daily life, and most importantly, the confidence to express your unique elegance. Because Milan isn't just about fashion, it's about the art of living well at every age. So, if you've ever wondered how to keep your wardrobe both modern and timeless, this is your moment. Let's step into Milan's vision together, where style is not just seen, it's felt. Let's begin with quiet luxury, where less truly becomes more. Quiet luxury is not about being noticed, it's about being remembered. Picture yourself slipping into a soft cashmere coat in taupe, the kind that drapes with natural ease, or a slate gray silk blouse that seems to catch light in the gentlest way. These pieces don't shout, they whisper with authority. Milan's 2025 runways showed us that real elegance isn't loud logos or overcomplication, it's fabrics that speak through their quality. Colors that soothe yet empower, and details so subtle they feel like secrets only you can share. For women over 60, this style feels almost like second nature. A fine wool skirt paired with a minimalist ivory knit isn't just chic, it's comfortable, practical, and deeply flattering. Add a single gold brooch, and suddenly the look transforms into something artful without losing its quiet restraint. You could wear it to an afternoon gallery opening, a dinner with friends, or even a simple morning stroll where you want to feel put together without effort. I remember a Milanese woman I once met at a cafe. She wore a simple ivory coat cinched at the waist, her only accessory a delicate gold pin. Yet everyone turned to look. Not because she tried to demand attention, but because she radiated ease and self-assurance. That is the heart of quiet luxury. Style that enhances your presence rather than competes with it. At its core, this trend reminds us that elegance is about editing, not adding. It's about choosing pieces that feel timeless and grounding, like silk against your skin or a wool coat that becomes a trusted companion over the years. Confidence grows not from excess, but from refinement, and that's a message that resonates at any age. And as quiet luxury sets the tone with refinement, the story naturally unfolds into something freer and more playful. Let's explore boho elegance next. There's a certain freedom that comes with embracing boho elegance, especially in Milan's 2025 vision for women over 60. Imagine a flowing maxi skirt in soft floral prints that moves with every step, almost like a breeze captured in fabric. It's paired with a lace overlay jacket or perhaps a lightweight fringe piece that adds just enough texture without overwhelming. This is not the boho of youth, full of excess and eclectic chaos. It's boho reimagined with maturity, taste, and sophistication. For everyday life, this trend is incredibly versatile. A printed maxi skirt with a simple ivory blouse can be your outfit for a lunch date or even a garden stroll, finished with artisan jewelry that tells its own story. Swap the blouse for a lightweight fringe jacket, and suddenly you're ready for an evening gathering where your look radiates individuality yet feels perfectly balanced. Boho elegance invites you to layer thoughtfully, creating ensembles that feel personal while still polished.
I recall a woman I once saw in Florence wearing a pale pink maxi skirt with a silk scarf draped loosely around her neck. She wasn't dressed to impress anyone, yet everyone noticed her because she looked free, comfortable, and beautifully herself. That's the secret of boho elegance. It's about embracing softness and movement, allowing clothing to echo the rhythm of your own spirit.
And for women over 60, it carries a deeper message. Life doesn't need to be structured into stiff boxes. You can choose fluidity, comfort, and artistic expression while still radiating grace. Milan's take on boho reminds us that maturity and playfulness can live beautifully side by side. And while boho elegance flows with softness, Milan also celebrates bold accents in the smallest details. Next, we'll step into the world of statement gloves. Sometimes it's the smallest detail that leaves the most lasting impression. In Milan this year, one accessory stood out as both bold and refined: statement gloves. For women over 60, they offer a way to elevate even the simplest outfit into something unforgettable. Imagine slipping your hands into soft leather gloves dyed in deep burgundy, or a pair of embroidered silk gloves in midnight blue. Suddenly, your entire look carries a touch of drama and sophistication. The beauty of statement gloves is their versatility. Worn with a tailored coat in ivory, they add a striking contrast that feels both chic and modern. Paired with a sweeping cape jacket, they bring out a sense of timeless grandeur. And for those moments when your outfit is monochrome or understated, gloves in bold tones act like punctuation marks. Clear, stylish, and deliberate. They say, "I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to show it." I still remember seeing a woman stepping out of La Scala in Milan, her black cape coat simple, almost austere, until she raised her hands to adjust her scarf. Scarlet gloves peeked out, catching the city lights. That tiny detail transformed her entire presence. People noticed, not because the gloves were flashy, but because they were purposeful. That's the essence of style, knowing where to add just enough flair to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. For women over 60, statement gloves are more than accessories. They're reminders that elegance can be expressed through precision. You don't need an entire wardrobe overhaul. Sometimes one thoughtful choice is enough to speak volumes. And while gloves highlight the beauty of detail, Milan also redefines comfort with unexpected elegance. Let's move into refined puffers. When you think of puffers, the first image that often comes to mind is bulky, practical, and far from elegant. But Milan in 2025 has rewritten that story. Refined puffers are no longer about hiding under layers. They are about layering with grace. Crafted in satin or velvet and offered in soft pastels or rich jewel tones, these puffers are designed to flatter rather than overwhelm. The silhouettes are slim, almost sculpted, giving warmth without sacrificing femininity. For women over 60, this trend feels like a gift. Imagine slipping into a velvet puffer in deep emerald green, styled with a midi skirt and boots. It's cozy, but it carries the poise of evening wear. Or perhaps a satin blush puffer paired with tapered trousers for a casual afternoon outing, proving that warmth can be chic. These pieces make winter dressing feel less about protection and more about expression, blending comfort with refinement in a way that feels utterly Milanese. I once saw a woman at a Milan train station wearing a pearl gray satin puffer, cinched at the waist with a slim belt. She carried herself with such ease that her puffer seemed less like outerwear and more like a statement piece. People glanced at her, then looked again. It was a reminder that even practical clothing can feel luxurious when reimagined with thought and detail. Refined puffers remind us that style doesn't have to be compromised by season or circumstance. Elegance can be part of every layer, even the warmest one. For women over 60, it's about embracing pieces that provide comfort while still honoring individuality and grace. And from warm outerwear to delicate accents, Milan shows us that the smallest accessory can carry the most charm. Next, we'll explore skinny silk scarves. In Milan, style is often defined by the smallest gestures, and nothing captures that better than the skinny silk scarf. At first glance, it seems like the simplest accessory, yet when tied just so, around the neck, draped from the wrist, or even looped through a belt, it transforms the entire outfit. For women over 60, this is a perfect way to add a spark of color, a whisper of personality, without feeling overdone. Picture yourself in a neutral cashmere sweater and tailored trousers. Alone, the look is polished but perhaps a little understated. Now, add a silk scarf in vibrant coral or deep sapphire tied lightly at the neck. The whole mood shifts. It becomes artful, expressive, and distinctly Milanese. These scarves are loved not for their extravagance, but for their versatility. One day they're playful, the next day sophisticated, always adapting to your mood and the story you want to tell. I remember a woman in Milan's Brera district, sipping espresso at a corner cafe. She wore an all-ivory outfit, simple and refined, but what caught my eye was the silk scarf tied loosely around her wrist. It fluttered with every movement of her hand, catching the light like a painter's brushstroke. It wasn't just an accessory, it was a signature. A tiny act of self-expression that turned her look into something unforgettable. For women over 60, skinny silk scarves remind us that elegance often lies in subtlety. They show that you don't have to reinvent your wardrobe. Sometimes it's about adding one thoughtful detail that shifts everything. This is the Milan way. Understated, refined, but always alive with personality. And finally, as scarves remind us of subtle artistry, Milan elevates the concept further. Let's dive into artful details. Hand-stitched seams or delicately embroidered collars transform clothing from something ordinary into something that feels like it belongs in a gallery. For women over 60, these details are more than decoration. They are expressions of craftsmanship and individuality, quiet affirmations that beauty lives in refinement. Imagine a tailored wool coat with buttons carved like tiny works of art. At first glance, it's classic and understated, but when you look closer, you see the thought, the hands, the care that went into its making. Or consider a simple blouse elevated with a collar embroidered in silver thread. It doesn't shout for attention, but when you wear it, you feel the confidence that comes from knowing your style carries depth. Milan's 2025 fashion scene celebrates this kind of subtle artistry, the kind that grows richer the longer you look. I once noticed a woman browsing books at a Milanese shop. Her dress was plain navy, yet as she turned, the light revealed hand-stitched seams running along the bodice, creating a pattern so delicate it felt almost like poetry. She wasn't trying to be fashionable, but her presence lingered with me. That is the power of artful details. They invite people to pause, to appreciate, and to remember. For women over 60, choosing pieces with craftsmanship speaks to a deeper philosophy. Elegance is not about excess, it's about intention. It's about finding beauty in the small things and letting those details reflect who you are. Every stitch, every button, every collar becomes part of your story. As we've journeyed through Milan's 2025 fashion trends, one thing becomes beautifully clear. Elegance has no expiration date. Whether it's the quiet confidence of cashmere, the free-spirited flow of boho maxi skirts, the drama of statement gloves, the comfort of refined puffers, the subtle charm of skinny silk scarves, or the artistry hidden in sculpted buttons, each choice is a reminder that style is a lifelong conversation between you and the world. For women over 60, these trends are not about chasing youth or reinventing yourself. They're about celebrating the wisdom and grace you already carry and expressing it in ways that feel authentic, modern, and deeply personal. Fashion, after all, is not just about clothes. It's about how you feel in them, the stories you create while wearing them, and the confidence they awaken within you. So, as you step into your wardrobe tomorrow, I invite you to pause and ask yourself, what detail, what fabric, what little touch can make me feel truly myself today? Because sometimes it's that one scarf, that single brooch, or that unexpected pair of gloves that transforms not just your outfit, but your entire day. If this video inspired you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of Milan's 2025 trends speaks most to your heart? Share your reflections in the comments and let's keep this conversation alive. And if you want more style tips, inspiration, and elegant ideas tailored for women over 60, don't forget to subscribe and join this growing community. Until next time, stay chic, stay confident at any age.